There's a picture of Erika Kirk with a ponytail, and from her past. That person matches who I saw at Fort Huachuca in the lobby the night before, and she was with that man in the lobby. And that man, he was present at that meeting.
I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast.
Charlie Kirk didn't need random commenters to clue him in. Something felt off with Erika, and he could feel it in his gut. Then a so-called leaked audio dropped and blew the lid off, pointing to the possibility she was still seeing her ex on the low. People whisper there are alleged chat logs and call times that match up a little too neatly with timelines. Charlie's parents say they've been side-eyeing for months. Here's where it flips. Instead of leaving it behind closed doors, Charlie's parents allegedly pushed for one move that changed the whole vibe: a DNA test. Folks close to the family say Charlie had already been asking those same tough questions, so now everyone's circling the exact same doubt. Charlie didn't want to be the first to say it out loud. If the affair talk wasn't straight, what else in the story wasn't lining up?
Picture of Erika Kirk, and I'm assuming her baby, but listen, look at her hands. I'm going to show you a picture of these scars. There's a scar right there. Zoom in on it if you need to.
Before we get into why this surfaced now and why his parents aren't staying quiet, we've got to look at where the foundation started to crack. Because the claim isn't about a one-time lie. It's about a pattern. That's the part shaking the room. Erika, according to the chatter, built a whole image around a past Charlie never fully bought, and that's been brewing for years. She kept the same pitch to anyone who'd listen. Pure, godly, disciplined. A woman who supposedly didn't date, didn't party, didn't mess around, just met the love of her life, married him, stayed home, and devoted herself to family. That brand looks spotless, and now every detail is getting reread with a magnifying glass. Erika doubled down hard on her perfect image during that CBS Town Hall interview.
I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another.
Flat out saying she never dated anyone in the years before meeting Charlie. The way she said it wasn't casual either. It sounded like she wanted everyone to know she was different, set apart, above the rest. But Charlie, he never bought the story all the way. He noticed the cracks, the fuzzy timelines, the mixed-up details, and how her story seemed to bend depending on who was asking. He just didn't have solid proof. Until now. Things flipped when Erika's ex allegedly dropped explicit photos that put her in New York, living a full single life that totally clashed with the pure image she kept selling. Erika, as many already know, appeared on season 3 of Bravo's Summer House. That was filmed in August 2018 at NYC bars and in the Hamptons, and the footage shows her drinking, hanging out, living it up, completely outside the persona she later swore was her truth. And that instantly sparked the question, if it was no big deal, why lie so hard about it? Once people started digging, the inconsistencies came fast.
Instead, she doubled down
Suddenly,
and got
Charlie's
even more
quiet doubts
concerned
didn't
about how
sound
she could get more
paranoid
money.
anymore. They sounded real. That's where the deeper pattern shows up, because Erika didn't just rewrite her past.
Stepped into
She
Charlie's
never
shoes
actually
after he
closed the
passed.
book on it. Before Charlie even came into the picture, Erika had been publicly linked to several men, even though she later swore that chapter didn't exist. And these weren't just casual flings. One of those relationships was with Tyler J.T. Massey, a pro baseball player she openly adored in an Arizona Foothills magazine interview. Erika didn't hold back at all in that one. Erika once called JT her favorite human, her best friend, and her incredible boyfriend. That bond didn't just fade away quietly, it lingered for years. People genuinely believed Erika and JT were engaged, and while no official marriage record ever popped up, engagement-style photos of the two went viral later on, reopening questions she clearly wanted buried. But the clip that really flipped everything came from a 2015 Trump rally, and that's where things took a turn. In the footage, Erika is standing next to a man, with a young girl between them. And when the internet slowed that video down, people started spotting details she probably hoped would stay hidden. The girl, according to many, bore a striking resemblance to JT, and that's where the timeline started looking messy. Then came the bombshell detail that changed how everyone viewed the story. Standing right there in the bleachers was Tyler Bauer, the same Tyler who would later introduce Erika to Charlie. The same Tyler now said to be closely tied to TPUSA leadership. That coincidence didn't sit right with people at all. Because suddenly, this wasn't just about an old ex. It was about how Erika had been orbiting the same political circles long before she claimed to meet Charlie. It left people wondering whether she ever truly healed from those old relationships or if she just rebranded and kept it pushing. So when she finally stood in front of Charlie, presenting herself as this untouched, devout Christian woman ready for marriage, people couldn't help but ask, was that real faith or just a smart play? This is where the story stops looking like mixed signals and starts feeling planned. Erika didn't marry Charlie out of some whirlwind love story. She did it when it was time to settle down, switch her image, and step toward power. That's the chapter she always skips when telling how it all began. Erika's connection to Tyler Bauer makes it crystal clear. Nothing about how she met Charlie was some random accident.
That was until I hosted the first Trump rally in Trump rally history right here in Arizona in 2015. I got a call from Miss Erika Kirk, Miss Arizona 2012. I just want to help, she said. So naturally, I put her right behind the president at that first rally.
Tyler wasn't just a friend in passing, he was deeply woven into the story from the start. As most people already know, Bauer stepped into the COO role at TPUSA back in 2017. And not long after, he arranged what was supposedly a professional job interview between Erika and Charlie. But that so-called interview, it somehow flipped into their very first date. Here's where things get sticky. Before that introduction ever went down, Erika wasn't single. She wasn't out there soul-searching, and she definitely wasn't living the quiet, disciplined life she later sold to the public. She was reportedly dating Cabot Phillips. Yeah, that Cabot, the senior editor at the Daily Wire, working directly under Ben Shapiro. And here's where it gets even messier. Charlie had already been publicly clashing with Cabot's circle over sponsorships tied to Israel, claims that sponsors were targeting him, so this overlap hit differently. Then one of Cabot's old tweets from September 2017 resurfaced, showing him and Erika on a cute painting date, proving they were together during the very same timeline Erika swore she was untouched by dating. Even more awkward, photos from that same time show Cabot and Charlie moving in the same social circles, like one from a basketball game where both were spotted. So when Erika later said she met Charlie randomly a year later, the story started crumbling fast. Because if she was dating Cabot while getting introduced to Charlie through Tyler Bauer, suddenly all of Charlie's old doubts made perfect sense, and then things got personal. Once the timeline started lining up too perfectly, insiders say Charlie didn't blow up or accuse, he just quietly stepped back. From then on, the marriage felt different. He became more guarded, more careful about what he shared, and noticeably more cautious whenever anything involved the kids. Something in him clearly shifted. It wasn't paranoia, it was precision. When you start realizing someone might have built their whole identity just to get close to you, every little detail starts looking suspicious. Charlie began moving with intention, making sure his parents were always around the kids, not just as loving grandparents, but as an extra layer of stability he could trust. People noticed the shift back then, but didn't get why. Now, it all clicks. Charlie didn't want the kids growing up in a version of reality he no longer believed in. He wanted witnesses, structure, and people in the room who actually knew his side of the story and could see things unfold in real time. And that change, it wasn't quiet, it was deliberate. Charlie started setting up his entire life like he was getting ready for something big, even if he never said what it was out loud. Every move felt calculated, every routine tighter. And now that Charlie isn't here to tell his side or defend his name, his parents have stepped into the spotlight to carry that fight forward. According to those close to the family, they've allegedly demanded DNA tests, because after everything that's come out, the rumors, the timelines, and the half-truths, they're done wondering. They want answers, and they're not backing down.